A creator spent 3 years to build an audience, post after post, video after video, and he finally reached the goal everyone is chasing, 100,000 followers. And the day he tried to turn all of this attention into income, it was so bad that it completely changed the way I look at social media. And stories like this happens all the time at different scales, different niches, different audience, but the bottom line is always the same. Bad monetization strategy. And it made me think that maybe what kills all of those businesses is not lack of followers. So I've analyzed thousands of creators, from those who are barely making money to those who are quietly printing it, and found something cool. The highest earning creators were not receiving dramatically more attention or views than those who were not. They had something else in place. In fact, 3 other things. 3 pieces of infrastructure that separated creators that just had attention to creators that owned their attention. And the third one is where most people get stuck the most. The first problem is probably the simplest one, but it's also the one that costs a lot of money. It's basically when you have attention, but you're not directing it anywhere else. The first type of creators is those who don't have a link at all. So they just expect people to magically click on one of the posts and just buy. And that's a big problem, since people don't usually buy the first time they see something, right? They have to learn a bit more, stay connected a bit with you, and only then, after getting more information, they will buy. And a big misconception is thinking that the platform got you covered, right? But I upload thousands of posts about my offer. Cool. But the problem is only 4% out of your existing audience will see that post, meaning only 4 out of 100 followers will see your post, meaning most of the people are not seeing all of the offers, and probably even if they followed you for a few months, it may be the very first time they see your offer. Because the platforms now are not optimized for attention, they're optimized mostly for retention, meaning they will not show all of your posts. They're showing what's trending, what's cool, and what people are watching right now, meaning you're losing a lot of eyeballs just being on social media. And the second type of creators probably watch this video and they're thinking like, ha ha ha, but I've got the link in my bio, I am safe. But the problem is they're usually doing the exact extreme opposite of having no link at all. And it looks like this. Say I open up your profile, I go to your link, I click it, and then I have 10 different options. Watch my podcast, jump into my newsletter, buy my ebook, download my second ebook, I don't know, just watch my recent video, whatever. 10 different links. And when I see all of those, when your leads are seeing all of those links, what usually happens is they're not choosing anything. Because when we have a lot of stuff to choose from, usually what we tend to do is we just choose none. And the goal of your links basically is not to give 10 different directions, is just to give only one that is the next logical step for your audience, for the people you want to attract. But getting the click is only half the battle, because after doing that, most creators, usually those who are not getting a lot of money out of their social medias, are doing the same mistake right after that. They just stop. Say they take the next step. Say they opt in. They give you their email address. You send them the freebie. They download and consume the freebie. Maybe you even have some sort of a pitch. But then they're just forgotten. You're not saying anything else and you just stop. So the second mistake is just dropping your subscribers the moment they join into your list. And I don't want to be that guy who preaches you about emails, how emails is important, please email, whatever, right? What I want to talk about is why creators convincing themselves that sending emails and being there for their subscribers is spamming, right? I don't want to annoy my subscribers, so I will not send anything. So that's what we'll be talking about. Because mostly it comes from the assumption that when someone joining your list, they consume the stuff, you send the offer, and they decide not to buy it, it means that they're not interested in buying from you in forever. But rarely this is true. Think of the last time you opted into someone's list, you consumed something, you will immediately took your card and like, I want to buy it right now, right? Maybe that never happened. Maybe the last time you consumed something, you were interrupted in the middle. Maybe you completely forgot about it, right? There are tons of different reasons to why people are not buying immediately. And usually doesn't mean that your offer is bad, your lead magnet is bad. It just means that they need more time, more information, and a bit more trust. And mostly it actually means the opposite, because when I opt in into your list, right, and I got the lead magnet, usually after that I join because I want more information, I want to consume, and I actually need the help. And I'll give you an example about myself. Right now I usually opt into stuff that is related to YouTube, to like building YouTube channels, YouTube tools, stuff like this. And when I opt in, what I do expect is to get more emails to help me with the stuff that I consumed and what I asked for in the first place. Sometimes those people are not emailing me in a while and then start sending me emails after, which we'll talk in a minute. And I don't remember them. I'm like, who are those guys? And I just quit, right? But those were emailing me. I don't consider them as spam. I consider them as helpful. And sometimes I even buy from them. The very first email's job is not to get people to buy, even though it will probably be the email that will get the most click rates, the most open rates. It will not be the one that most people will buy from. It will, some people will, but usually its job is just to establish some sort of a connection and make the person decide if that is something they would be interested on in following in with you, with the free stuff, paid stuff, whatever. If your world would be interesting for them. If it does, they'll stick around. If not, then they'll just unsubscribe. And what you should be careful about it is when you convince yourself that sending emails is annoying, you usually just send 1, 2, 3 just to welcome them, whatever, to present the offer, and then you completely stop. And the next time you want to send something would usually be when you'll have something to offer, when you'll have to run a sales campaign. And what's actually happening, ironically, this is what gets people annoyed. Because if the only time when you email people when you need something, then that considers spam. The idea of sending emails is just to build a relationship with those who trusted you enough to give you their email addresses. And if someone joins your list and doesn't buy on the very first few, then it's fine. It doesn't mean that they will never buy. And maybe watching this video right now, you start realizing that you haven't been emailing your people much and you want to do that more, but you don't really have an idea what you should say to them, and you don't want to just appear to their list and be like, yay, I'm back. But it's fine, because a lot of creators are in this place right now and they have no idea what to send, and they end up just not sending anything at all. And this is exactly why I put together the free 7-day rhythm reset training. And it shows you the exact structure to get back to your list without feeling awkward with the 4R framework: the relief, reward, realization, and responsibility emails. And the goal is not to just turn you into a copywriter, it's just to reset the conversation with the people who've already trusted you and joined your email list. So look for it in the description below, in the pinned comment, and jump into the group. See ya there. The third mistake is a little bit more invincible. It's the most confusing one, and the one that most people hate to admit they have. Because you can have the cleanest profile, the best one link, the best landing page, an email system, but still will not make money, not on the first email, and not in 2-3 months going forward. And the mistake is just having a lead magnet that doesn't actually do its job. And surprisingly, it is pretty common, because many coaches, many creators are not really thinking about lead magnets much, right? It's like, oh, I should have a lead magnet, let's get some freebie out and post it and just move on. But the lead magnet is not just something people download. It has a job. Its job to attract the right person, solve the right problem, and naturally lead to the next step. When it fails at one of those things, the entire system starts breaking down. The first mini problem is attracting the wrong people. We want to make our lead magnets attract the very people that will be buying, right? The very ideal customer. We want them to go like, yes, I need it, the moment they just see it. And the opt-in should feel like a no-brainer for these specific people. A bad example would be a business coach who created a free tool that helps people prompt their GPTs better, right? It will attract a lot of people who are into AI, and from the outside it'll look like, cool, I have tons of leads. But when the coach tried to sell his high-ticket program to get more clients, he realized that it flops, right? Most of those people joined for AI prompts and they're not necessarily into business coaching. The second mini problem is the lead magnet solving the wrong problem. This is where the lead magnet and your offer are disconnected, because what usually it needs to happen is the lead magnet solves a very specific problem that reveals the bigger problem which you sell, and the ascension is natural and simple. And once this problem is solved, the next logical question in my head is, okay, now I have all of this time, how do I use it to make actually better videos that get me more views, get me more leads, whatever. And then a YouTube coaching offer would just make perfect sense. A bad example would be a fitness coach giving away 30 breakfast recipes and then selling a 12-week fat loss program. Even though the audiences seem similar, the disconnection between the lead magnet and the paid offer is just vast. People can just consume the lead magnet, get exactly what they wanted, and would never wanted the next logical thing. And the third mini problem is that the lead magnet and the freebie is not creating enough desire for the main big thing. There are countless 70-page ebooks, PDFs, 7 hours course that I opted in and just never consumed, even though I do need the solution. And on the other side, there are lead magnets that after I consume, I was like, why they even exist in the first place? The creator gatekept so much things that I can just Google and find everything that it just told me, and I'm like, what a time waste. And neither works, because sometimes as creators we forget that lead magnets are not actually free. The people who are consuming them, the people who are going through them, are paying with the most valuable currencies ever: attention and time. So we cannot treat their attention cheaply and just hand over half-baked lead magnets with no substance. But also, we cannot waste their time by just giving them lead magnets that are 10 times longer than they're supposed to be. There should be a sweet spot. A good lead magnet should give a result as fast as possible, be as concise as possible, and reveal the very next problem. When someone finishes it, they shouldn't just feel, okay, I'm done, this is over. What they feel is like, okay, I'm done, but there is more work to do. Because the goal of a lead magnet was never to just collect addresses, it was to collect addresses, build enough trust, and introduce them to the very next thing. And when you build a lead magnet with no pipeline in mind, without an understanding where and how it should go next, you just find yourself with a bunch of people that have no idea what's going on, basically. So why did 100,000 followers turn into $40? Is because attention is not enough for a business. First, they had no system to capture those people and turn them into leads. Second, they did not have any system to nurture these leads and turn them into buyers. And third, they had a lead magnet that was not designed to attract the right people and move them to the next step. The results: lots of followers, very little revenue, because the best creators are not just best at getting attention, they're also very good in turning that attention into customers. Because attention on its own doesn't mean nothing. When you're just renting an attention and you're relying on the platform for attention, do you really have something? Because if that attention can disappear overnight, do you really have a business? In the next video that should pop somewhere on the screen, I would be talking about rented attention versus owned attention, and why rented attention can disappear overnight, and what really happens after, and more importantly, how to make sure it will never happen. So go and check that next.